This is going to be your lateral squat. So it's getting into position. You're going to put your feet outside, hip width apart. Play around with your foot position. Some individuals do really well with really wide. Some do better with more in. Right now, start with where your hips are. Then just take a half a step in both directions. And then start there and then play. Toes. You don't want your toes angled out too far. And you don't have to have your toes angled forward. Again, play around what feels best for you, but start with a slight outward angle. Now we're gonna start with body weight squat here. We wanna create bottoms up tension. Now what does that mean? We're gonna start with our feet, creating tension down there, creating some stability, and then work our way up the body. So I'm going to splay out my toes, and I'm gonna drive and plant my toes into the ground like they are roots of a tree. And then I'm going to outward rotate my toes out. They're not actually moving, but they're creating torque. They're creating tension by screwing into the ground. And then that's going to travel up the hips, creating some tension in your hip. Now I'm going to brace the core, so keep the ribs from flaring out. So bring those ribs down. And then for just body weight, I'm going to bring my hands out in front here, give it a squeeze, drive my elbows away from me and inward. Now I'm creating full body tension from my toes all the way up to my shoulders and hands here. And now the actual movement. What you're gonna do is keep this leg straight, and we're gonna squat to the side on this leg, bending the knees over your third and fourth toe, pushing your butt back, squat down, pushing that knee outward towards that third and fourth toe, as far as you can, keeping your foot flat. Keep that foot flat and keep that knee locked in. What you don't want is rotating your hips this way towards the leg. You want to keep your hips straight forward, squared away in front of you. You also want to keep in mind of what the upper back is doing. So you don't want to be rounding forward as you're squatting down. So that's why we're creating that full body tension to help keep everything tight as we squat down. Then you're using this whole foot, using your hips, you're gonna push the ground away from you, back to your starting position. Now adding weight to this exercise, a great starting point is grabbing a kettlebell or a dumbbell and putting in a goblet position. In that stance, same thing, bottom up approach of creating tension from your toes all the way up to the hands of the kettlebells. Very similar to what we did with the body weight as we laterally squat down.